Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Cultural Magazine as it comes to you during the holy months of Ramadan, the months of piousness and spirituality, but also in Egypt it's a month rich in its cultural events. So now let's have a look at some of the cultural activities taking place during the holy months of Ramadan.
معاك الخير كله من الصبح نقوم ونحضر له جبت معاك الخير كله من الصبح نقوم ونحضر له القمر يبنوا فلح على فين القمر يبنوا فلح على فين والمغرب لما تفوق فيه قالوا فيه.
Ramadan in Egypt is not like any other country. It has its own unique flavor, which not only inspires the Egyptians to be pious and to perform the religious services and do good, but also it inspires them to excel in art and culture. Ramadan is not only a month of piousness, but also it's known for its cultural activities and festivities as well. One of the most characteristic features of the holy month of Ramadan is the Ramadan lantern or Fanus Ramadan, which is used as decoration associated with the holy month. We can see it in the homes, restaurants, hotels. Not only that, but also we can see it in the hands of children playing with it while singing the traditional song وحوي يا وحوي.
الشمعة بتكبر في فانوس أخضر رمضان نور وهلاله يبان دايما فرحان رمضان فرحة شجرة وطرحة اديني بلح بيتك عمران بيميش رمضان.
The Ramadan lantern or Fanus Ramadan was introduced to Egypt during the Fatimid era. According to tradition, Caliph Al-Mu'izz al-Din Allah was greeted by the Egyptian people holding lanterns to celebrate his arrival to Cairo, which took place during the holy month of Ramadan. The tradition continued in Egypt and the Fanus became one of the main decorative features of the holy month.
صنع من الصفيح والإزاز.
I make the fanus out of tin and glass. First we cut the tin, then straighten it. We form separate pieces for the framing of the glass. Then we weld the pieces together. It is called sanda'a. As for the assembly, it is called ta'fis. The work depends on the size of the lantern, varying between 15 minutes to a full day. This is the classical local Egyptian lantern. The wooden lantern is made out of wood, so it is based on recycled wood and safeguards the trees. But the bigger lanterns are made out of logs of wood. They are reasonably priced. The costs vary from £3 and above, according to the workmanship and size. It is safer as it won't burn or injure the child. It is beautiful and I highly recommend it.
فانوس رمضان أحد مظاهر البهجة في شهر رمضان الكريم.
The Ramadan lantern is one of the joyous symbols of the holy month. It is a traditional Egyptian device. It brings joy to the hearts of both children and adults. The lanterns are made out of various materials: plastic, copper, tin, wood. as well as glass. The wooden lanterns are the latest trend. Due to the lack of imported lanterns, this year we have a variety of domestically produced ones. The customers want a user-friendly and child-safe lantern. I heard that Damietta has special workshops for the wooden lanterns. In Cairo, we're using the laser machines introduced by educated craftsmen. It is the traditional local Egyptian lantern. And season greetings. I'm a lantern vendor. I prepare my merchandise months before. I'm attending university and I'm helping my father. So I'm studying and working at the same time. I sell the various Ramadan lanterns and accessories and decorations, including the Ramadan lantern. This year, we have a variety of lanterns made out of different materials and sizes. They are all reasonably priced and they are all made in Egypt. The production of the traditional Egyptian lantern takes a variety of stages. When talking about the tin lantern, first, the size of the lantern is determined. Then after that, the tin is molded and cut. The colored glass is prepared, then the colored glass is fitted and glued to the outer frame. Then the frames are attached to one another.
فانوس مصري طبعا أنا بحب أشجع صناعة بلدي.
I like the Egyptian lanterns. I believe in the Made of Egypt motto. They are all reasonably priced. In Egypt, Ramadan has its own unique spirits. You'll find that all the streets are beautifully decorated. You'll find the Ramadan lantern, which is the fanous, kids playing in the street, and you can hear the fireworks. And these are features which inspired the photographers in Egypt to go out following the iftar and take snapshots and document such beautiful photography sceneries. And now it's time to look at some of these photography exhibitions and how did the photographers in Egypt perceive the holy months of Ramadan. Iman Fouad, a unique photographer with a sensitive eye. If we look at her exhibition Eye on Egypt, it's actually a very beautiful and interesting exhibition where she visited different areas in Egypt, so we can see the Red Sea, the oasis, and she traveled all over the country and she depicted the landscape of Egypt. Also in this exhibition we can see also portrait of the Egyptians. It's a really unique and beautiful exhibition. It's really an Eye on Egypt. So now let's enjoy it together.
I like to show the activities in the Islamic area because there is many interesting activities like Khayamiyya, and this I can't do it with black and white. It's color because it's the main it's the colors that they choose, and it's too attractive. And sometimes I convert it to black and white when I want to show the street with the people and their action in the street. All the people shoot it for the color. Me, I shoot it for the mood, and I try to put some words with it to show how they are, what is their feeling when they are slowing, كده, swirling. I think it's give more mood than the color. Yeah.
Now, what does Ramadan represent to you, especially as a photographer? And do you sometimes go out and take shots of places and people during the holy months of Ramadan?
هو رمضان يعني I hope to shoot other shots I didn't take yet, like how they live in Ramadan, what is the reaction of the people, and how they react with Ramadan, the food, the prayer, everything. So I think I have to take more for Ramadan. Sometimes I take pictures of Ramadan that are natural, that like here it is one for the boy taken, he's very impressed with the fanous, and I like the Arabian coffee. Tanura, it's something very interesting in Ramadan too, and how to do بقى الكنافة القطايف and everything that you can see in Ramadan, that's lovely يعني. I did all this. Yeah.
An interesting pictures or photograph I've seen is of a vendor, and actually the way he was dressed, he was holding some of the things he was selling in his hand, and then there were others on his head, I think. Would you tell me more about this photograph? Do you remember where or when did you take it, and what captured your eye in it?
Yes, it was at El Muaz Street, and this man was very catching for me because he has many things in his hand and on the head, and I wonder how he can hang all this on the head, and in the same time he can walk straight, and he can deal with people normally. It was very strange and very catching for me.
Well, Ramadan is a very, very special month for Egypt, you know. We prepare for it the whole year, and when Ramadan comes, there are many traditional customs, and Ramadan is a month where you can really make very nice photos before iftar and after iftar in the Islamic quarters of Cairo or Alexandria or Upper Egypt, you know. And I would say Ramadan is the month of art. I mean, apart from being a very religious month for all Egyptians and all Muslims, you know, it really opens very nice occasions to make photographic nice photographs of the Islamic traditions, you know. I like very much the real Islamic quarters of Cairo, for example. And I like very much the what we say in Egypt, Ma'idat al-Khair, this people who are prepared, yes, we're making charity iftar for everybody. Everybody can go and have iftar. This is a very nice tradition, really, and it symbols the Islamic traditions of Egyptians, you know. I wait for a special moment, but at that moment I make many pictures, many photos at that moment, you know, and then I select the best of them.
Culture holds a variety of cultural activities throughout its various cultural palaces and Islamic houses. So you can find a variety of activities at the Sahimi house, at the Ghouria palace, and many other activities varying from the whirling dervish, which is the tanura, up to the various Islamic enchanting and many other cultural activities. So now let's have a look at some of them. In the memory of the pioneer visual artist Izzat Jamaluddin, the Faculty of Applied Art held a calligraphy exhibition commemorating his memory. Now let's enjoy together that exhibition.
أستاذ دكتور عزت جمال الدين، أستاذ تصميم أنماط الخطوط والكتابات.
Dr. Izzat Jamaluddin is one of the pioneer professors in the field of Arabic calligraphy. He was a leading professor at the Faculty of Applied Arts and was a renowned calligrapher not only in Egypt but all over the Arab world. His contributions to the Arabic calligraphy continued for 48 years, whether as an artist, a scholar, or a professor. He was in love with the various calligraphy forms and styles, especially the geometric freehand one. He held several exhibitions under the title The Beauty of the Manuscripts and the Magnificence of the Written, with emphasis on calligraphy based on the Quranic verses in a variety of forms and designs. His works are special, and they are the main reference for calligraphy students. The works of the late Professor Izzat Gamal reflects his lifelong achievements, 48 years of work. It reflects the various stages of his art. We can find works related to the relationship between words and letters in a unique formation. It is also worth mentioning that he was interested in the geometrical Kufic designs. His works are characterized by harmony in the colors and even in the contrasts. Also, he was interested in the calligraphy of the Quranic verses. Other unique works were a stylization of Prophet Muhammad's 6 messages to the kings of his time. They were the base for several unique Sufi paintings. Each painting had its own unique story. Izzat Gamal was also famous for his silk prints known as the silk screen, which he excelled in.
دكتور عزت جمال الدين كان إنسان قبل ما يكون فنان فكان
Dr. Izzat Gamal al-Din was known for his kindness. He made his students feel loved. He was like a father to them. He cared about them. And as he taught the juniors, so he was keen to introduce to them all the different types of calligraphy and how to hold the pen, how to handle their tools, and all the various techniques. He taught them all about the designing of the Arabic calligraphy and its various styles. To him, the calligraphy tools were more than instruments. They were the creators of art. He concentrated on precision. Every millimeter counted. The designs were balanced. Every letter had to be precise and well articulated. The Arabic alphabet had its own grace, a grace that should be reflected when drawn. That was the case also for the Latin script. As the students advanced in their studies, he taught them how to redesign Latin and Arabic alphabet to find aspects of similarity between both scripts, yet to be able to distinguish and discriminate between them. He taught the students to have their own individual style so that not two students are alike in their work. He produced a variety of handmade paintings where he mixed the calligraphy with Islamic designs and ornamentations. His designs reflected his unique talent, especially in the works representing the stylized Quranic verses in a variety of techniques, on top of which the silk screen technique. He depended on a variety of styles and designs. Another unique form is the design inspired from the drapes of the Kaaba.
You have viewed with us a variety of cultural activities taking place during the holy months of Ramadan, and by this we come to an end of this episode of Cultural Magazine. Until we meet again with more Ramadan activities, it's Ramadan Kareem.